Welcome to our Values and Communications presentation. My name is Ashley Chironis.
My name is Margaret Gonzalez.
And my name is Tabitha Kirkendall. Today we will be discussing therapeutic and non-therapeutic communications toward the values of a patient who is ambivalent about receiving a new vaccination. In this situation, we are imagining a patient is coming into a clinic for an annual physical exam and that we have been assigned to provide nursing care for them. In this hypothetical scenario, a SARS-CoV-2 vaccine has been FDA approved and the patient is a candidate for this vaccination. Per the patient assessment, they are a 25-year-old, currently in good health, they're an elementary school teacher, and they have not been diagnosed with laboratory-confirmed SARS-CoV-2 since the virus was first seen in December 2019. Upon mention of a SARS-CoV-2 vaccination, the patient appears to become anxious, and an increase in heart rate and respirations are noted. The patient begins to fidget and ask fewer questions. With regard to the values that we all hold as future healthcare professionals, as a group we have discussed and determined that we all value herd immunity, protection of an individual's health and body for their self and for others, scientifically informed and evidence-based decision-making with regard to healthcare choices, and every patient's freedom of choice in their healthcare decisions. During this encounter, our patient has expressed that they hold some values regarding this vaccination that are opposed with some that we each hold as nursing students and future healthcare professionals. These values include right to freedom of choice, protection of health and body from harm, perception of vaccination as unjust, or perception of receiving this vaccination as abuse because they feel that they are being forced to take a vaccination that they know nothing about. These values highlight their autonomy in healthcare decision-making and are related to their preconceived notions about vaccinations, potential stress related to the SARS-CoV-2 pandemic, and a different level of scientific literacy. For example, this patient expresses worry that this vaccination has been rushed in its creation and states that they feel those receiving the vaccine are being experimented upon. They also worry about contracting SARS-CoV-2 if they receive this vaccination or suffering an allergic reaction after the vaccine is administered. These are values of preconceived notions that the patient hold that we will address throughout the encounter.
After hearing the patient voice their concerns, we have chosen a nursing diagnosis of decisional conflict. The patient questioned their own values while trying to come to a decision on receiving the vaccine. As a nurse, it is our responsibility to help patients make appropriate healthcare decisions for themselves by providing information to support any questions they may have. Our nursing diagnosis is decisional conflict related to physical signs of distress and physical signs of tension and questioning of personal values while attempting a decision, as evidenced by increased heart rate and respirations, and the patient stating that the decision to vaccinate conflicts with his or her personal values to protect their health. The patient has been asked to provide 3 evidence-based reasons to support their decision regarding vaccination by the end of their visit. This will ensure the patient has conducted their own research and is educated on their final decision. Our SMART goal is the patient will provide 3 evidence-based reasons supporting their decision regarding personal SARS-CoV-2 vaccination by the end of the nurse-patient encounter. In this encounter, we have explained to the patient that it is their decision if the vaccine should be given, and we do not want them to feel as if it is being forced upon them. The patient feels concerned that if they do get the vaccine, there will be adverse side effects that have not yet been discovered, or the patient will become sick with the SARS-CoV-2 symptoms. For our intervention, we will provide scientifically valid and evidence-based information to the patient to help support their decision-making process. Our intervention is to use decision aids or computer-based decision aids to assist clients in making decisions. Our evidence-based research is Batista et al. 2018 found that web-based decision aids performed similarly to alternative formats for decision quality outcomes. It is important for the patient to be informed when making their own decisions. During the encounter, we provide some web references to the patient to help with the decision of getting vaccinated. A great deal of information can be found at various websites, information related to general vaccination schedules. Along with providing the patient with access to these sites or print-offs of these websites to conduct their own research, we plan to have following dialogue with the patient to ensure therapeutic communication is used throughout the encounter. Therapeutic communication techniques that we think will work best for the client in this situation includes avoiding assumptions, engaging in active listening, respecting patient autonomy in a caring manner. The following is an imagined dialogue that the nurse and patient could have when discussing the patient's decision to receive a SARS-CoV-2 vaccination.
How do you feel about receiving vaccinations?
Patient states that they are current on all required vaccines because of the nature of their work as an elementary school teacher. They state that they have no worries about receiving any standard vaccine because they have always received them, and they feel they help protect their students and themselves from illness.
This interaction demonstrates therapeutic communication by asking an open-ended question and demonstrates caring by allowing the patient to express their concerns in a safe, non-judgmental setting.
What concerns do you have about receiving the SARS-CoV-2 vaccination? What information would you like to help you make your decision about receiving or not receiving this vaccine?
Patient states that SARS-CoV-2 is a brand new virus and they feel that everything has been very rushed in making this vaccine. They are concerned that they will be treated as an experimental person by receiving this vaccine. The patient asks the nurse to provide more information about the development of SARS-CoV-2 vaccine.
Because they have seen some similar viruses before, scientists did have a starting point when working on potential vaccines and treatments. Yes, this is a novel virus, but there have been a lot of studies to determine how effectively we can try and treat other upper respiratory illnesses caused by other coronaviruses, like SARS and MERS, for almost 20 years. This vaccine has gone through all of the same clinical trials and FDA approvals as any vaccine. And in order for the FDA to approve the vaccine, it did have to achieve certain safety benchmarks to continue being evaluated for approval. If you would like, I can pull up this specific information and we can go over any questions that you have about how the studies were conducted or any other safety concerns that you have. But I also do have a handout here that I can give you so that way you can review some information on general vaccine information.
Patient takes a moment to review the information.
This interaction demonstrates therapeutic communication by asking an open-ended question and promoting interpersonal teaching and learning. The nurse asks the patient what concerns they have, actively listens to those concerns, and provides requested education to help give the patient context for their decision-making.
We are here to provide you with the best information that we can to help you make the best decision for yourself regarding vaccination, and we will help you get the information that you need in any way that we can. Whatever you decide, we will respect your decision and your care will not be negatively impacted in any way.
This interaction demonstrates respect for the patient's autonomy in their decision-making. This allows the patient to express any feelings of positive or negative feelings without fear of any impact to their regular care.
Some examples of non-therapeutic communication include if the nurse in the situation was not maintaining eye contact with the patient, ignored their concerns or wishes about the vaccine, was inattentive to the patient's questions, or as the nurse was unconcerned with the patient's values or voice approval or disapproval. Examples of this could include telling the patient that their decision to vaccinate is the right choice, as this introduces bias towards the nurse's values to the patient. This could also include not answering patient questions when they expressed interest in more information regarding the vaccine. After having this dialogue with the patient, they take more time to review the information provided on the CDC and HWO website. After meeting with their healthcare provider and clarifying any medical concerns, they conclude that they would like to go forward with receiving the SARS-CoV-2 vaccine. The patient states 3 evidence-based reasons they have chosen to get the vaccine as 1, the vaccine has been FDA approved and has gone through standard benchmarking. 2, COVID-19 is a novel virus, but coronavirus and not new. Coronaviruses are not new and have helped vaccine development. And 3, they work in an elementary school and would like to protect themselves and their students however they can. This concludes our presentation about values and communication surrounding a patient's decisions in receiving a new vaccine. Thank you for your attention, and please reach out to any of the group members with any questions you may have.